Episode 3. The Land Sabbath, a law for the soil, not the soul. You've heard it before. See? There were all kinds of Sabbaths, some every week, some every year, and even some every 7 years. It's all the same, and it's all been abolished. That's the favorite argument of the desperate preacher who cannot separate God's eternal law from temporary civil instructions. But let us drag this lie into the light of Scripture and crush it with truth. In Leviticus 25, 1-7, God introduces the Land Sabbath. Every 7th year, the people of Israel were commanded not to sow their fields or prune their vineyards. Verse 4. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord. Yes, it's called a Sabbath, but don't be deceived. This is not the 7th-day Sabbath that was made holy at creation. This is not a day of worship. This is not about gathering for holy convocation. This is not about honoring the Creator. This is about agriculture. This is about giving the soil a break every 7 years, not the soul. The Land Sabbath was part of the civil and agricultural laws given only to Israel, and only for the land of Canaan. It was a law of stewardship and dependence, reminding them that the land belonged to God. But let me ask you, was the Land Sabbath written by God's finger? Was it placed inside the Ark of the Covenant? Was it sanctified at creation? Did Jesus ever teach it, keep it, or mention it? No, because the Land Sabbath was never part of the 10 Commandments. And yet, Sunday defenders will recklessly lump it together with the moral law to make the 7th-day Sabbath seem temporary. That's like saying, because dietary laws changed, murder is now okay. Absurd. When you mix the ceremonial, civil, and moral laws together, you're no longer dividing the word of truth. You're mutilating it. The Land Sabbath had a purpose. It taught the Israelites to trust God's provision, especially when they didn't plant or reap. But guess what? When they rejected that law, they were punished, not for breaking the 7th-day Sabbath, but for ignoring the Land Sabbath, 2 Chronicles 36:21. And even in judgment, God never confused the two. So why do modern pastors pretend that all Sabbaths are the same? Because if they can make the 7th-day Sabbath look like a rotating harvest law, they can throw it out with the ceremonial wash water and keep bowing to Sunday like Rome intended. But let's make this crystal clear. The Land Sabbath was for the land. The feast Sabbaths were for shadows, but the 7th-day Sabbath was for creation, forever. It wasn't given to Jews. It was given to humanity, to Adam, before there was ever a temple or a nation. Exodus 20:11 connects it all. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. He didn't hallow a year. He hallowed a day. So here's the final warning. When you treat the Creation Sabbath like a land ordinance, you spit on what God Himself blessed. You reduce eternity to a farming schedule. You trade God's unchanging command for your man-made confusion. And for what? To keep worshipping on Sunday, a day never commanded, never blessed, and never sanctified. God has never asked the land to worship Him, but He does ask you. So tell me, will you rest on the day He made holy, or keep digging in the dirt of religious excuses?